Revenant Act 2 has been revealed. Guardians will head back to the Reef and take part in Tomb and Contest of the Elders, a reimagining of the Prison of Elders compared to the Coil and Ribbon's Lair activities. Gameplay of the brand new exotic shotgun, Street Fighter collab, donning Space Dragon armor, Doki Doki armor, and much more. Welcome Guardians, let's take a look. So let's first start with the new activity in Act 2 called Tomb of the Elders and how the Guardians will be heading back to the Reef. Act 1 was about finding House Salvation and Aramis. Along the way, the Guardians discovered Fikrul had claimed an Echo, now capable of creating a new Scorn army from living Elixni. Act 2 is going to take us back to the Reef for several reasons. Varric kinda hinted at this in Act 1, and we can only assume the reasons Fikrul would want to go here. He ruled over the shore with his father Aldrin Saw back in Forsaken, and his barons remain here. Could he possibly resurrect some of those and make them a part of his army? This brings us back to the Prison of Elders, now called the Tomb of Elders. Guardians will be able to take part in the Tomb of Elders and Challenge of Elders activities. This new game mode has been compared to the Coil and Ribbon's Lair. It's longer and more roguelike. You'll go to different arenas, complete encounters, traversal sections, as the Warden Servitor speaks to you along the way. If you're doing well, your judgment's favor will increase, increasing the chance at getting better rewards. If not, the opposite, and some mechanics may get easier for you. You'll visit the Warden's office, as they call it, to get loot in between your arenas. You can see the team here did pretty well, so they got 3 chests. There's many fan-favorite enemies and some new enemies returning. If you think back to the Destiny 1 version of the Prison of Elders, it had the 4 enemy factions, the Vex, Fallen, Taken, and Cabal. This time around in this reimagining, we'll have the Dread, which replaced the Vex, the Shadow Legion for the Cabal, Lucent Hive, and Revenant Scorn.
It's actually showing one of my favorite features, which we tried to give every boss a cool intro. So this boss descends in from a thresher from the ceiling. And so we have like the piece de resistance right here. My son, everyone will be very excited to see this. This is one of my favorite intros.
The grand reveal.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see here. And you were saying the Dread and the Taken are working together in this one, right?
I'd say the Taken are kind of taking the helm of the Dread right now, not because like they're strong or anything, but because like Psylocke is just more experienced with the prison, I feel like.
Honestly.
Green.
Fair.
So critical objectives have been massively increased in like complexity, I believe.
Yeah.
So every time a boss starts, there's just a timer ticking down that we're not showing you, and then a critical objective will spawn. If you complete them or fail them, you know, your Warden's judgment will react accordingly, but what we ask you to do for these critical objectives are much more dangerous than like our normal stuff, which is like maybe get kills with abilities, get kills with the Scorch Cannon. This one is a certain level and below, all of it will be poison gas that does damage to you over time.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we see the Warden's office, so that's what that's not what it's called, but that's what I like to call it. Yeah. Every time you complete a boss, you will get pulled to this chamber where the Warden will reward you based on how well you've done. This fire team has done very well, so they get 3 chests and you get a rally banner that allows you to like kind of, you know, refresh your super and ammo and stuff before the next round. Yeah. And as we saw, we have like judgment, calculating, punishment protocol, averted. If you're in the Warden's punishment while he's judging you in this like kind of Monopoly style like mini game, a punishment will happen. I don't want to spoil what that is, but I think it'll be very smart.
There's 2 new weapons dropping in Act 2, along with some new artifact perks as they did last episode, so here's a look at those.
I got 2 new seasonal weapons or act weapons.
Got the SMG and the shotgun.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
There's an Arc Precision SMG, and then there's a
Attrition Orbs, right?
Yeah, Attrition Orb. Yeah, it's got a bunch of perk rolls on it, which we'll get to in a second. And then a Void Precision Shotgun, which has some Dustrock Blue Jeans. If you
very nice. Blue jeans.
Yeah.
Very.
So this one's got the new Arc perk, Jolting Feedback. It's also got Loose Change, Attrition Orbs, and a few other things that really synergize pretty well. You can get like the Jolt on and then Loose Change procs.
Yeah.
And it just loops into itself.
Yeah.
And then the shotgun, it's got a bunch of rolls both for PvE and PvP. You can get Slide Shot Closing Time. You can get Discord Destabilizing rounds. And with the shotgun changes that we did in this release, it will probably serve you pretty well in places. Oh yeah, it's got a lot of rolls, and it's precision frames, so I know it's like the most popular right now for PvP.
Yeah, been getting killed by those a lot these days. So in addition to these 2 new Act weapons getting added to the pool, there's also one of the reprised ones as well that I'm personally pretty excited about from Season of the Splicer coming back, Grid Skipper.
Yes. Yeah, I did the rolls on these.
Let's take a quick
It's
look.
got some classics from the past, but also some new rolls. Also, it's got a lot of options for both PvE, PvP. Get some Zen Moment Headseeker for PvP, probably pretty nice.
That's what I'm going to be going for.
My original classic roll was Killing Wind Multi-Kill Clip, which with the new Splice Origin will work pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm a compulsive reloader myself, so manning the pulse and getting that Splicer Surge going after a couple kills, it pretty much like negates the major downside of the rapid fire pulses of being like pretty low handling and reload baseline.
That was it.
We have a new row unlocking in Act 2. These are all close quarters themed, so we've got a discount for all your melee mods, an improvement to emergency reinforcements, which I think is like you get a heal when you're low health. Got a way to get armor charge while you're surrounded. The boost there gives you more weapon handling and charge rate for swords.
And the boost comes from tonics, right?
Yeah, so there'll be new tonics.
Nice.
This, I think, is a variant of one of the older mods that is when you break a combatant shield, you get an orb of power, and then the boost on this actually is going to be really nice, which is picking up an orb of power or elemental pickup or tangle, gives you a bit of health, which kind of replicates the leg armor mods, which you can like run both, or this can free you up a slot with that. I know like I'm running Stasis Hunter with the new helmet, and that's going to be pretty good for that, and also just for staying alive and this activity since it's kind of spicy.
Something's just getting there.
And then Arc Compounding, which I believe was maybe in an older artifact, which is Arc Sources deal more damage to blinded targets, which might actually pair really well with the changes that got done to Exteris, since the moths there will be applying the blind for yourself, and then also it's a grenade launcher, so it kind of gets to double dip with all the grenade launcher mods in this.
Destiny 2 is getting some more partnerships. Around Halloween, we just had the For Honor one, which was in For Honor and not Destiny, but now Destiny 2 is getting a Street Fighter partnership and a Doki Doki collab. Street Fighter will include Ghosts, Universal Ornament helmet that works on every class, 3 finishers, and emotes. There's also a new Doki Doki armor set.
So we got your Cammy, Ryu, your Chun-Li. I wouldn't want my Ghost to get into a fist fight with with any of the bosses really, but that one looks like they could plastic gets this. It's going to be Universal Ornament. The helmet goes on all characters, Hunter, Titan, Warlock, which is going to be great. And then with the roaming super changes, like you can throw on your Titan Arc Super, you could throw on Storm Trance, and go and kind of role play with some of that electricity, right?
Yeah, honestly, just really live up that fantasy of being Blanca after all this time.
There are also 3 finishers. You might have seen those sprinkled in through the gameplay: Lightning Kick, Spinning Bird, Hadouken. I can't do that.
What are you doing over here, Dylan? Thank you.
Was my attempt worse than the joke, or
significantly better? Significantly better. Yeah.
And then we got some emotes that we can show off too, which are a pretty good time.
Yeah. Let's see here. We'll see what we can see here. If gameplay's on screen, anyway.
There we go.
There we go. Yes. All right. So we've got some emotes to show off as well. Let's start with the group emote here.
This one's
I love
time to fight.
The health bars are so good.
And winner. God. And then we got a bonus round. Let's go.
Yeah. It's not exactly a Honda Civic, but it's just as much fun to go ahead and beat it. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here, Dylan?
So by the power of the moon, the team has done absolute beautiful work on some Doki Doki Destiny sets. We got your Warlock and your Titan there, showing off their fashion, pondering an orb, if you will. But yeah, I mean, this has been a set long time coming. We hope players enjoy throwing on some bows, some ribbons.
Festival of the Lost is still going on, but the Dawning returns December 10th. It seems overall it's kind of the same cookie baking mechanics return, but engrams with focusing is back with double perk options. There's new weapons or prize weapons, strange coins added to Dawning gifts, and probably the coolest thing, Space Dragon armor available for silver or bright dust.
There's already actually a pretty spicy roll on the screen right now. So on the left column, internally we call it Box Weaken.
Like box breathing.
What's the actual?
Withering Gaze.
Withering Gaze. So aim down sights for a bit, and then you
left
can.
Column specifically.
Oh, sorry,
really
left.
Nice.
You can weaken your targets, and then in the right column, Bait and Switch. So amp up your damage, weaken your target. That's actually going to be a pretty spicy roll. Bystander 2 to get a bunch of your ammo back. But if you're actually worried about ammo, Envious Arsenal, it's one of the hottest perks of this season, or of this episode, sorry, this act. Those are going to pair really well in this linear that's coming out.
The brand new exotic you've seen in many concepts and probably thumbnail art is the Slayer's Fang exotic shotgun. Now I believe they mentioned this will drop when Act 3 comes out at the beginning of January, I think January 7th, but they did want to show us some sneak peek gameplay as there's not going to be a stream for Act 3. So here's a look at that.
Now the name of the quest we're not going to spoil for you because it has some story implications, but Taylor, I'd love to put you on the spot real quick. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here?
Yes, this is Slayer's Fang. It's a pretty unique slug shotgun. Where it fires a single slug round that once it impacts a target or a surface, like environment, the slug shatters in a bunch of secondary projectiles. And then once you get a kill, you get true sight for a short period of time, and then the shattered projectiles will weaken targets that they hit, and they get a bit smarter with their tracking.
Very nice.
Comes guns or bullets or something.
A worm.
But,
a very sassy worm.
Yeah,
at that, but.
Also fully reloads the gun with the reload.
I was going to ask.
It's not shell by shell.
Yeah, was it the whole? So it's the whole magazine up front, not necessarily. Yeah. Okay. I can already, I'm already mentally trying to build this into as many loadouts as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Being
Your Falcon? Yeah.
Very curious if no backup plans Titans might happen.
Well, they will now.
Yeah. Also benefits from the shotgun changes that happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, like reasonable range to use this.
Is it craftable?
Yes. Yeah. So like kind of the past couple quests we've done with this, like Choir 1, etc. Be a bunch of things to do in the activity, intrinsic levels to unlock, and a handful of catalysts that have some interesting interactions with how they've gone.
So there you have it, Guardians, a quick little recap of Revenant Act 2. If you'd like to stay up to date on everything involving Destiny 2, its story and news, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.